is going to be abbreviated. Most commonly, you will see me write SAP because I don't want to write it all out. You guys told me this is the simplified way to explain it, right? Part plus part equals whole. I see no reason to make it any more complicated than that. I'm going to put an example for you. We are going to use A, B, and C in this case. Part plus part equals whole. And Noah actually used this exact example. It was AB plus BC equals, what's the whole?
AC.
Yep. Remember, if we're talking about, if we have an equal sign, we do not put the bars over those letters. It's part plus part equals whole. And an example for you. Okay, so I have an angle. Let's call the whole angle A, B, C. And then there's ray BD in between. I would say that the measure of angle ABD plus the measure of angle DBC is equal to the measure of angle, the whole thing, ABC. My reason would be given. You can draw a line in between those to make your two columns. All right. When we are doing these type of proofs, you say what's given. Then you have to write an equation with just letters. Then you can put in some numbers, and then you should get your final answer. Okay. We can write an equation with letters only here. But first, let's label what we know on the diagram. You know that AB equals 2 and AC equals 7. You're a geometry student. You should get in the habit of every time that you're told something and you have a picture, you need to label what's true. AB, on this picture to the right, AB is 2. AC, the whole thing, is 7. Question, should I label BC equals 5? No! Do you know that? I know you know that. I know you know that 2 plus 5 equals 7, but have you proved it yet? No. Then you better not label it. This is the only thing that you're going to label. In this example, the letters happen to be the same. It doesn't always work out like that. Obviously, pay attention to the letters you have, but we know that part AB plus BC will equal AC, so you should write that equation. Okay. So step 2, AB plus BC equals AC. Why can we write this? What makes us be allowed to write that equation? Segment addition postulate, which you can abbreviate to SAP. I can put 2. Where can I put the 2? AB, because AB is equal to 2. So I'm going to replace AB with 2 in a second. Oh, hello. And where can I put the 7? AC. So what is that called when we were replacing? Substitution. Good. Substitution says if I replace something with something else. So it becomes 2 plus BC equals 7. Your reason, substitution. You replaced. You are so close. You have to solve this equation. How can you get BC to equal 5, guys? Subtract the 2. And if you want to show your work for that, that's fine with me, although you do not have to. So step 4, BC equals 5 because of the subtraction property of equality. So we write down our givens, and we make sure we write down that they're allowed because they're given. If you want, you can draw a line. Remember, we're 2 columns. Given. We were given some wonderful information that ABC is 120 and that ABD equals 50. You can think in your head, you're trying to prove that DBC equals 70. Why does that make sense? Does it make sense? Why? 50 plus 70 is 120. Okay, so you know this logically in your head. It's always a good thing to think about why it would make sense first. You need to go to your picture and label what you know. You know that ABD is 50 degrees. Label it. And ABC, the entire angle, the bigger angle here, is 120 degrees. So that's why I'm drawing an arrow over the whole thing. Always want to label our picture, because if it doesn't make sense at first, it might make sense whenever you label the picture, and then it'll help you write the proof. You are trying to prove that DBC is 70. That has to go last. Okay, equation with letters only right now. And if you'd like to tell me the equation, you could raise your hand. That would be helpful. Remember, when we are using equations, you have to use that measure, the M. Measure of angle, is it, you just said it, I'm sorry, ABD. Plus, is it DBC, this other one? DBC equals the entire thing, measure of angle ABC. What is the reason that allows us to say that? Angle addition postulate, which I'm going to abbreviate, AAP. We can substitute. She's saying take 50 and put it for ABD. And Mary Jean, you said 120 goes where? ABC. Because we're told that's what they're equal to. So we will write the equation that she said, 50 degrees plus measure of angle DBC is equal to 120 degrees. She said it's because we are using substitution. Do you agree? You are replacing one for the other. You know that it's equal to that. How can we get DBC to be 70? Subtract the 50. So final one, measure of angle DBC equals 70 degrees. Did we prove what we were supposed to prove? Yes. Why are we allowed to say it now? What was the reason? Subtraction, property of equality. Those are the only two we're going to do today.